Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning into these videos. In this video, I wanted to read various precepts about the elect of the nation of Israel, the ones who are slotted for salvation, as it says in Revelation 7. As 12,000 out of each tribe of the nation of Israel. And that's something that you don't really hear in various camps or other churches, is the focus and emphasis on the remnant. When you read the scriptures, the remnant is spoken about, because as of all the people of the Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, you're really only going to find a small remnant amongst those tribes and nations of actual righteous men who are standing still before Yahweh Shai in these last days. Just as Solomon did that experiment where out of 1,000 men, he basically only found one righteous guy out of that. It's pretty much the same situation here. And I want to start off by reading this in Isaiah chapter 10, verse 21. It reads, "The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai." Verse 22, "For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness." Because we know and understand that as this truth is only for a select amount of few, for this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to seal those that are of the elect, that not everyone is going to receive this truth. And some of them are going to get it, but reject it. I'm going to get a precept going into that. This is right here, Matthew 22 and 14. It says, "For many are called, but few are chosen." Because a lot of people can come across this truth, feel good about it, study for a little bit, be in this for 10 years even, but then will find some sort of excuse to get out of it. I'm going to read all those precepts like that in 1 John, 2 Timothy, of like situations like that have arose. Because a few years back, when the meme of the flat earth started to gain traction, that actually took out some supposed brothers out of this ministry. Or even when adversity arises, that takes brothers out of this ministry. I always remember the account that when the apostles were arrested because of the situation that happened after the September 11th attacks, they were in the prison area, put behind bars, and the people to their left and right, not everybody was in the spirit. Some of them were mad that they were in jail, but as Apostle Gabar in one of his videos said, that he was bewildered that because he was there with a guy who he was at camp with, but then come to find out that it only took a little adversity just to prove that he really wasn't of the elect. Because that's something also that we have to have characteristics of the hopeful elect. Because the hopeful elect are going to stand against the wiles of the devil and defend and deflect all of the fiery darts. And or if whatever they go through, they persevere and overcome those things, the furnace of affliction. So I'm going to read this in Revelation 19 and 10, just to emphasize that here at Great Millstone, we're emphasizing about the elect of the nation of Israel. Those who sigh and cry for all the abominations that are done down here. And of course, that's kind of like a broad statement, because technically everybody is doing that, but only the elect are doing that the right way. So this is Revelation 19 and 10. It says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy." And the elect is part of prophecy. You're seeing the elect rise up right now in these last days. That's prophecy. And these other camps or whatever 501c3 church that are out in the cities or in the worlds or in the hoods, these Catholic churches that rely on 501c3s, they don't emphasize prophecy or the gathering of the elect. Like I just read that in Isaiah 10:21. "The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power, Yahweh." Because the mighty that great deliverance is going to happen, and it starts here right now as you hear these words, whether you hear or whether you forbear, and so long as you endure. Those who let go of the plow, as in the emphasis of like you're in this ministry, working, doing your due diligence to show yourself worthy and be of the hopeful elect, putting on the armor of the hopeful elect. If you were to stop this, is basically like in that you put your hand off the plow and you just give up working. Those people are not fit for the kingdom, because we thought that they were with us, but it only took a little adversity, little pressure to make them drop the plow. But that it just goes to show you that these people, well, many are called, but few are chosen, is that those that were called were not chosen. So I'm going to read this here in Revelation 7, because it goes into that situation where it's only gathering 12,000 out of each tribe. So I'm going to read this a little quick. It says, Revelation 7, verse 1, "And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, and the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any trees." Now these angels represent the order and the thing that's holding back the chaos and devastation that we're starting to see now. Because as it's starting to happen, it's because the elect is being sealed now and they're being built up. Like as Apostle says, like he basically thinks that like the elect is sealed already and they're just being built up now, because the MOTB, wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places are starting to happen now. So the 4 winds of destruction are starting to seep in. And these angels are on an order to not hurt the wind, the sea, the earth, or anything that's down here. No trees even, until the elect are sealed. I'm going to continue on, verse 2. It says, "And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads." And that's why we always go into these various chapters, because this all ties in together. Like what's stated in Ezekiel 9 and 4. There's an angel going out through the midst, sealing them for the destruction or the deliverance. Those who are sighing and crying for the abominations are protected with the mark, a thawah. But those who disregard this message are marked for destruction. Woe unto them. So it's basically, they're going to be fit for the slaughter here, as when these angels give that full go-ahead to just unleash all these things and all these destructions and stuff, the Lord hath done those things, because they're directly ordered from the Heavenly Father Yahweh to do these things. And so when they're given that order so that the winds are unleashed, and you're going to see that, but like you're kind of starting to see it right now, especially with all the prophecy that's being spoken about. And when you see these camps, and these various camps all throughout the world, because GMS pretty much has gone global. You got camps in Trinidad, Australia, London, all these places all throughout the earth, preaching the testimony of Yahushua, which is prophecy. Wars, rumors of wars, the MOTB, all these things, but mainly emphasizing the remnant, the elect, they're going to come back in these last days. And this is who is listed. Verse 5, of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000. And just to emphasize that Joseph right there, it's talking about Ephraim and Manasseh. Now continuing on, verse 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations, and kindreds, and people, and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. And because this right here is what's spoken about in 2nd Ezra 2. The elect are going to be crowned by Yahushua himself for standing stiffly for his name, for doing what was commanded to do in this time right now. All right, so let me see. I'm going to continue on. Well, I'll just read these other precepts. So I had this one lined up also because as that emphasis of being crowned, of being of the hopeful elect, and what you have to strive for the truth unto death. Yeah, I'll read that part one more time in Revelation 7, because it says that no man could number them. Because even though you can try to line up all of the members and try to count them by their tribe, you ultimately don't know, because you can't discern who is who. You might have a person who might give up in the last second and take the MOTB during the hour of temptation. So you don't know these things, but then also you have to account for the fact that those who died in Yahushua, their works follow them. So that there's that for Esau. So he can't number the elect like how the Heavenly Father is. But I wanted to read this here because even though we're in these last days, you still got brothers coming into this ministry and then so-called brothers falling out of this ministry, because you still have Satan doing his job trying to lead these people astray. But so long as you're armored up, you have all of the armor that is required, you can deflect these fiery darts, because we have a brotherhood, a ministry. All the tools in the toolbox are used to keep you from the temptation of this of Esau, Edom, his devices, and all these things that would deny Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But I wanted to read this here in 1 John 2:19. It says, "They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us, but they went out, that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us." So think it not strange when you see a brother not endure, or whatever situation it is, that they get offended or something, because this has happened to me, to brothers around us, even brothers in various camps. Like we had specifically here at the SF Bay Area camp, one person was basically preaching in the name of Yahushua, casting out demons, but because he didn't have the tenets of the hopeful elect, what the remnant should be doing in these last days, and it's basically being a brother unto each other. Because let me see, if I read the other precept, it kind of goes into that, because like these are like the characteristics that we are supposed to have. But that person basically, as he was preaching in the name of Yahushua, casting out demons, ultimately Yahushua is going to say, "Get from hence, I never knew you," because you didn't practice the characteristics and the tenets that the elect should be having in these last days. But let me read this here in 2 Timothy 4:3. It says, "For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears." And that's what you see with other people that kind of just go astray from GMS. They kind of do their own thing or go to another camp, but ultimately it fumbles. It doesn't last. And it's really because they want to hear other things than what we're preaching. And that's why I read that in Revelation 19:10, because here at Great Millstone, we're going to talk about prophecy. We're going to go over these verses over and over again because they are currently taking place. Ezekiel 9:4. But ultimately, whatever situation it is, it's because they have itching ears. They want to hear something different. I'm going to continue on. Verse 4, it says, "And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions. Do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry, for I am now ready to be offered, and the time of my departure is at hand." And I'm going to read this here in Zechariah 13:8. It says, "And it shall come to pass, that in all the land, saith the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein." So right here, this is prophetic right here, going into Jacob's trouble, because the only people that aren't going to endure during Jacob's trouble are people who don't have the truth. In verse 9, it says, "And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Emphasis on the name, because that's how we get connection to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, speaking the Hebrew. And also to point out that the elect aren't just going to go into the kingdom like with ease. We still have to go through the hour of temptation. But so long as you have faith for Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai unto death, that's the integrity that the Heavenly Father is looking for in you. Let me get one more precept. This is in Amos 9. So this is Amos 9, and I'll start at verse 9. It says, For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. So as the Heavenly Father is basically speaking like how he's going to destroy the nation of Israel, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. Because that least grain is the remnant, the choice seed that he's going to deliver out of these times, because they keep their integrity. They have this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and they stuck to this as opposed to other stuff. Verse 10, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say that evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Because that's kind of like the mindset that these two-thirds have. They think that America is going to continue and that nothing bad is ever going to happen. Like, it's really, if you boil down to what they believe, that's the tenet of what they believe. That everything is just going to be okay. And if there is a prophecy that's going to happen, like end of the world scenario, that's going to happen in like my children's lifetime. That's the mindset that they have. I'm going to continue on. Verse 11. In that day will I raise up a tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. Because, right, what you're seeing here with the hopeful elect is the tabernacles of David. It's just what David did when he got all of his mighty men, is basically what you're seeing in today's times through reincarnation. And the last precept I wanted to read, this is in Colossians 3 and 12. It says, so let me read this a bit. Yeah, so verse 12 says, Put on, therefore, as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering. So like these are the tenets that I was talking about. That these are the things that the hopeful elect will have. So you should conduct yourself in such manner. Verse 13, forbearing one another. And that's a big one. Like if you can't forbear a brother, you have an evil eye for them, well then you're not fit for the kingdom ultimately. You're basically not going to do good on the field, and you're eventually going to let go of the plow. So like these are things that are emphasized. These are what Yahweh Shai, when he's coming down here, or the angels in Ezekiel 9:4 are in the midst, marking them for either destruction or an exemption from this destruction. They're looking for these characteristics. So verse 13, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Hamashiach forgave you, so also do ye. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. And let the peace of the Most High rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be thankful. Charity too. It even says above all these things, charity. Like Yahweh Shai, when he was with the disciples, he was cleaning their feet. He was taking care of them. He was feeding them. He was basically making sure that they were good and ready for the things that they had to go through in their story. And the same thing applies to us. The servant is not greater than his master. And charity covers a multitude of sins. So that's basically like, we're not doing this for nothing. We're doing this to prove ourselves, so that we put on, therefore, the hopeful elect, so that when the angels are watching what we're doing, and the Heavenly Father is happy with what we're doing. But with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rokakwadash, Shalom Akim.